Hello, welcome. It's Friday, it's midday. We're working off my phone. Everybody cross their fingers, new format, and it's screwed already. Here we go. So, why is he stood up? Because I've got a motorised desk, which is electric, and there's no electricity. So I did put it up, and then thought, oh, this looks all right. And I thought, oh, and then we'll lower it down. So we're going to start lower it, and then anyway, I'm stuck in this position now. That's just the way it is. Anyway, we're going to do the headlines. It's sort of the same show. It's just jumbled up a little bit, and no electricity. The light will come on when the electricity comes back on. So, countries restart AstraZeneca vaccine rollout. Germany, France, Italy and Spain resume using the jab after EU regulators say it's safe to use. Well, I'm glad I used it. It's fine. It's all right. MSPs on Salmond Committee say Sturgeon misled them. I'm further away from the screen than I normally am. Hang on a minute, let's pull it forward a bit. The First Minister says she stands by all the evidence she gave to the committee earlier this month. First areas to get super fast broadband upgrade revealed. We'll be talking about that in a moment. UK's death rate 7% above the normal in 2020. While it was badly hit in the spring, 6 other countries were worse affected than the UK in the autumn. And Craig and Tate join star-studded Red Nose lineup for tonight. Nan meets 007 in one of those sketches to be shown during this year's Comic Relief fundraiser, which is cut short. They're not doing it as long. Let's see who we have in the house this afternoon. It's Grant. Hello. And Mark. And we have, everybody's here. Darren's here as well.
Good day. Grant, that's a combination, a baseball cap and a tie.
It's a hard, very hard look, that. Mark, you going to say something?
A hard look to pull off. That's why I'm not.
There's far too many of you in the room. I won't be able to get a word in edgewise.
It's fine. It's all good. So, welcome to Friday, everybody. This is the new Friday show, which we'll be doing each week now, as we all go back to normality, he says, in a certain way. It's sort of the same format. We're going to structure it a little bit more. I'm going to send topics out in the morning to everybody, so hopefully you've all done your research. Darren, have you done your research?
We got your topic.
So we're going to do a few business related topics, that type of thing. Then we'll talk about what we normally talk about, which is cars and technology, and then we'll do a little bit of entertainment stuff right at the end. So that's how it is all set up, except normally we would have electricity. So it's great though, isn't it? It's all working off my phone, battery in the Mac, which I've been told lasts for 24 hours. That's cool. That's powering the microphone. It's all great. It's all good. Let's talk about gigabit broadband first of all. So, gigabit broadband, first areas to benefit from it are just announced. They will be Cambridgeshire, Cornwall, Cumbria, Dorset, Durham, Essex, Northumberland, South Tyneside, and the Tees Valley. Now, this doesn't mean we're getting free broadband, does it? Is this just the government paying BT or Openreach to fit new cables? Darren, this is your
it won't be just BT. Obviously, there's lots of providers in Cornwall, lots of last mile providers as well. So there's Cornwall Broadband. There's a fair few people involved in that. Obviously, it'd be a monopoly, and BT be taking all of your tax money. So I know that BT, we have a statement out stating what will invest £12 billion over the next 10 years, and we should be hitting 20 million homes with fibre to the premises, which is what this is basically, fibre to the premises. So And again, what my only concern is what type of people does it reach? Because does it mean, for instance, where I live in a little close, and at the bottom of my close, there's fibre to the premises, but my close is fed by fibre to the cabinet. So I shan't moan, I'm still getting 80 meg, but I'm not getting 300 meg or 1 gig. And so would it just be them getting the slightly faster speed from 300 meg to 1 gig?
It's supposed to be everybody. It's supposed to be fibre to
out?
your house.
Yeah, but it's only fibre to the house a certain amount. There'll be a number. It won't be the whole of Cornwall's getting fibre to the house. It'd be a lovely thought, but there's absolutely no chance they're ever happening.
I'm just looking. I'm just checking. Here we go.
So yeah, it's a huge.
Who's getting the 5 billion? Who's getting the 5 billion? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, it's going to be spread across lots and lots of companies, and there'll be lots of fighting for that 5 billion. And put it this way, what annoys me a little bit is Openreach had to open up all their cabs and all their exchanges to all other competitors, the Virgins and whatever else. But it rarely goes the other way. And also, Openreach will be the people that will be hitting a lot of these smaller, more costly areas, i.e. Bude and areas outside, villages outside of Bude, where Virgin will just go, nah, that's not viable for us. We're not bothered with that little bit. So, yeah, I do get a little bit frustrated where it's a bit selective by the other ISPs, but it will be spread across many, many companies, not just Openreach and BT. It'll be, there will be lots and lots of other companies. In Cornwall, there's Fibre for Cornwall and Cornwall Broadband and lots of other little companies around. There's even a company in Bude that has their own version of that. So, yeah, a 5 billion spread around all that.
I mean, Grant, you're around the corner from me. Were you offered the Giga? You're not on Virgin, are you? What are you with? Who are you with? Oh, he's muted.
You're on mute.
You're muted. You're on mute.
Yeah, so I'm with the Utility Warehouse, which is effectively BT,
Okay.
I think. So, but they, I did inquire for Virgin, and I sent them a couple of messages to say I'm looking to upgrade. Never got back to me.
Really? That's
Because
weird. They're jumping.
You can get
They're
1
jumping
gig,
to get
can't you, by us anyway? You've got 1 gig.
No, I've got it. I've got 1 gig.
Yeah. I did apply for it, but I didn't get back to me.
Dan, before my fingers drop off, this is the world's smallest violin. I mean, yeah, I'm worried. Seriously. Since I worked for BT, and it was my sins. I didn't last long. It was about a year because of the bureaucracy that goes on in the organisation. Yeah, fair play, you're there. But I can imagine, because obviously the competition was unraveled with Openreach, now it's its own independent company type thing, because it was this. And I worked in the competition side of things for Carphone Warehouse, Opal, WorldCom, all of these. And for years, we had to fight BT every step of the way to get in business over the line. CPS when that was around, broadband lines, lease lines, all of this. So it's great to see that the competition is being opened up a little bit, because it gives the end user that needs to get the best deal. Yeah.
No, I agree. And I remember watching years back, my CEO at the select committee absolutely being pulled to pieces, even to the point where they asked him what's his wage, what bonus did he get this year, and they asked him to justify because customer service was so poor. So I'm absolutely behind the competition element. I just find sometimes, because BT come from a place of monopoly, which without a doubt did, that then the level of complexity and the challenges we have, and I work obviously within that, and within my laptop, which you can see behind me, I could go and log on and see an Openreach person, but if I was to IM that Openreach person or call them or utilize anything that's anti-competitive, I could be sacked. And it's very, very clear. And we have very, very stringent guidelines. I'm just not convinced that at this stage, I agree with what you're saying, Mark, and probably where you come from is some years ago. But at this stage, with Openreach being a separate entity and having their own board and everything else, that other companies are under the same level of microscopic I don't know, just the way we're looked at these days, it's painful at times that it ties our hands up massively to work as a business. And not for the good of the customer always either, not for the good of anybody, consumers or competitive.
Virgin use their own lines, don't they? They don't use Openreach system.
I'm not sure they on the whole use their own fibre, so they'll use their own fibre, but they might use BT ducts. So there'll be ducts that they might run their fibre through. They might traverse BT exchanges and things like that. So it's not a completely isolated network by any stretch of the imagination. BT has to open all of that up to competitors, and rightly so. I get that bit.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, sorry.
Go on, Mark. Go on.
No, I love this because I just remember years ago, especially in sales, and when we were going out and talking to businesses about, especially broadband, but lease lines back then, and all the transatlantic lines that they used to have about where the internet comes, and every one of us, WorldCom, Carphone Warehouse, CW, we're all saying that we own that piece of pipeline, and I, to this day, still don't know who owned that pipeline.
Yeah, the thing that frustrates me is the investment. Is that I don't see that level of investment when you look at £12 billion BT putting in. I never see that level of investment from any other company, and certainly not in areas that need it. Where I am, remote areas. So you'll find that Virgin saturate every city because that is the profitable place to be, where there's an expectation that BT have to deliver it to the rest of the UK and invest all of that 12 billion in making sure it reaches out. And I actually did a project where BT couldn't reach. I did a community project where BT wasn't able to give schools broadband. This one school had 50 children and had half a meg broadband. So what I did is I pulled a whole BT team out of BT, project managers, delivery managers, whatever else, and we couldn't give them a BT product. We went and found them any other product we could do to deliver. It's a satellite product by a third party, nothing to do with BT, and we gave all our experience of delivering that for free to that. I got a chairman's award for it, which was really good, but nevertheless, and a meal in the Tower in London. But nevertheless, BT can't deliver to every nook and cranny, but there's an expectation that we have to, and that frustrates me. Though I appreciate the scale of us is still under the spotlight as being a monopolised existence, which I don't feel is anywhere near what it was going back 20 years when I started.
You know who can deliver everywhere? Broadband.
Who?
Do you know?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm still not convinced. And I'm not convinced on the whole ethical side of it either, because there's, for everything that Starlink does, ethical. Well, for instance, there's thousands of cars now floating around in the ether.
They're not that big.
That weren't there before. You know what I mean? That's what they're classing as the size of cars, and that they'll naturally burn up. And when they break, what do you do with them? Do they just float around? We'll send another one up.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not convinced. And also, where does the majority of data get transmitted? So if you're on a phone line or if you're on broadband now and we're talking to each other, it's still on cables. 99% of our data still transmits across cable.
Well, when it gets down to a base station, yeah. When it gets to a base station, it does.
Cables. But I'm not sold on SpaceX, and I'm not sold on the latency is going to be all they.
Look, if you live somewhere where you couldn't get broadband and you were working still on a dial-up system, that is a godsend. And okay, in the UK we're fairly lucky because we're not lucky. We're just a small island, so we are. Even though some people think they're a long way away from everywhere, you're not. Go to Canada or go to the Midwest in the States, and then you're in the middle of somewhere. Then you're a long way from everywhere. But Starlink is like, it will bring broadband speeds, possibly up to a gig speed to remote access places. Australia, that type of thing. It's not really designed. I joke and jest about it really, but it's really for places where they can't get anything, and that's where it is essential. Yes, there is a lot of devices upstairs in the sky, but it is what it is. I mean, it's actually comparable to what's already up there. It's minuscule. There's the amount of stuff that's up there.
Well, I don't know. Stargazers and all these people that do aren't agreeing on that level, are they? They're all saying that it's going to actually really impact their ability to see past them. We're talking about lasers that will be transmitting from device to device. That's the backbone of the bandwidth, so they can spread and create that mesh network. I get the concept of it. I'm just not sure of. I don't know, sticking more washing machines up in the sky that are going to float around.
The washing machines now. Look, choose a size, man. Choose a size. Car, washing machine.
When one breaks, right, which is it's technology that's floating around in the ether, when it breaks, do you just go, oh, well, there's another one, send another one up? Because you can't fix it.
No. That's a hell of a service call.
Absolutely. That's a throwaway culture that we live in that frustrates me, that Bullock's Hi-Fi would never have prescribed to. We would have gone to our little filing cabinets, got out a manual and our fix-it book, and then we would have fixed that.
Got the instruction manual out. Oh yeah, that's the one. Starlink 776. That will fix that. Get a really long ladder. A really long ladder. That will do it. So okay, all right. That's You just. I think you just dislike Musk completely. You do, but it's fine. But let's move on, because where Darren is now in the area of the country where Darren is. It's not it's not specifically where he is, but it's one of the top 10 places to go and live now, because of the pandemic. It's all the places by the sea are becoming much more popular. People are moving there. People are moving out of the big cities because they don't want to be on top of each other. And Cornwall is now the number 1 place which has been searched on Rightmove. Is that correct, Darren? Is it the greatest place to live?
Sorry, I don't want to monopolise the show like a monopolise at BT. But
well, unfortunately, it's going that way.
But no, I'll give you some. I've got some great examples of this, actually. My sister-in-law wants to buy a property down here. As soon as the property comes up, within an hour, it's sold. It's gone. That's how fast you've got to buy a property. If you want to buy a property in Bude, and a particular property, she's looking at bungalows and whatever else, within, say, £300,000 to £400,000 price bracket, it's gone. I've just been dealing with solicitors at the moment because of Easy Glide and stuff that we're doing. I've got a friend who's a solicitor in Bude. Conveyancing, it's mental. It's through the roof. They cannot work fast enough because the property, it's always been popular, don't get me wrong. But because of COVID, people are exiting out to the type of place. He did, and it's a good for you, is that people are shooting and droves out of cities to get to, the Cotswolds, Cornwall, wherever, because they're realizing that, one, you can work remotely, and two, being in the middle of London with COVID isn't probably the nicest place to be. What he's expecting, and what he said to me, is once it starts to calm down, you'll see the opposite, that people will start to move in their droves back out and gravitate back around the cities. I don't know what you guys think.
What it's caused is that people are actually still moving to London because it's brought the prices down in London. This whole system that's happened, the prices have gone down. In our area, I'll speak to Grant in a second, where we are, it's equally as fast. As soon as one of the houses goes up, they do sell really fast around here. How was your process, Grant, when you sold your house and bought the one in the area we're in? Was it easy? Was it quick? Was there many other people after it?
It was long-winded. I think we did get lucky with our house, because I know the experience of other people around our area during lockdown. So we're talking about lockdown 2, was it? I forgot.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Lockdowns now. Lockdown 2. Solicitors were. So here's the story that I got from my sort of financial advisor who's helping with the mortgage. The mortgage took forever to go through because apparently loads of mortgage companies had furloughed their staff. Despite being really busy, it made it very difficult to communicate with the underwriter because they'd laid a lot of them off, even though they didn't need to. The argument of which was they were taking advantage of the furlough. So even though they were busier because of the stamp duty holiday, they'd furloughed people. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But it certainly was my experience that everything was long-winded and drawn out. My solicitors actually were awesome, which not very often say that about solicitors. So a quick plug for Blackhams and Tracy. She was
nice.
Awesome. And so that side of it was fine. But I know, like I say, I think I got lucky. We got lucky with our house because people that have been trying to move that I know of have literally just been gazumped one after the other at the moment. The property market is definitely buoyant. And surprisingly as well, I'm selling a commercial property at the moment, getting loads of interest. Even though you'd think commercial was, you'd think that it was not the place that people would want to be in at the moment.
No,
this is
right.
Retail as well, and leisure, really, really popular.
That's mad, isn't it? Because to be honest, a lot of the in the village and stuff like that, there was a lot to let, but that's all. They're all sort of moving now, and there's people moving in, and there's work going on.
Well, they extended the stamp duty holiday, and the stamp duty holiday, which, but when I've spoken to people, the property is moving really quickly.
Mark, what's it like round by you? How's things moving?
Tewkesbury is a medieval town. It's idyllic in that sense, and obviously when you're coming through, everyone and anyone wants to live on the edge of the Cotswolds or in and around this area. So much so that got permission to build more houses, and obviously that's a political, nest of controversy, if you like, because it's on the floodplains and just over the water. We're trying to object to. I think it was 1,000 houses going up or something originally. It's like 500 houses. It's just the plan's just gone up to 5,000 houses. You're just like, you can't get your head around it. So there is a massive demand for more houses, and that means obviously anyone selling their existing house is pretty much going quickly.
Yeah, the house prices around here they haven't dropped. They've sort of still gone up, and it's which is good. But I think people moving to outside the areas, outside the towns, that's where they are, and they're getting into space, and people are going back into space again. It used to be like the good life. If anyone remembers the good life, it'd be that. They'd be buying houses with little plots and sheep and pigs and stuff.
It's funny.
What I love about my little area is I've got a sailing club at the bottom, which obviously we haven't been able to do for COVID because of all COVID restrictions, but it's finally opening up again at the end of March for the big cleanup, and then April. There'll still be some restrictions, but because it's outside, everyone's like, wow, it's amazing. And because it's a private club, you don't get masses of people there other than the members, so we can sit on the veranda, have a drink. Overlooking the Avon, I think it is. Just overlooking the Avon. I think that's amazing.
Nice.
Think about getting a little boat.
You do live in a posh area, you do, don't you?
I've got a blob dinghy if you want it. The term I'm hearing is COVID tax, and this is being bantered about COVID tax, and it's a I don't know, a skeptical type term where things are being inflated because of COVID. So, for instance, houses now, you're paying a lot more for houses because people are moving out to these areas. Therefore, you can charge a lot more. And another area where this is being applied is motorhomes and caravans. People are buying motorhomes. Now, I've had a couple of motorhomes and we're just on about buying a third. The prices, I've got a good gauge of where the prices should be. But now you're looking at 20, 25-year-old motorhomes that are now 10 or 15 grand above what their price realistically should be. And it's incredible. And it's because there's such a backdraft of them, and people are trying to get hold of them, and they can't, because people are seeing motorhoming and caravan as a safe holiday. That there's a COVID tax, they're calling it, because obviously the prices are inflating because there's not as many around. It's a term that's been bantered about, and I think it's bantered about the same in real estate, is that people are paying above the odds maybe, and we will see a bit of a drop, I think, once COVID calms down, where if you've bought a house or a motorhome, it probably won't be worth quite what you pay for. I'm sure if it's long-term investments, it won't be an issue, but nevertheless, I think that we're all paying a little bit more for luxuries that. And again, when you look at studio gear, Matt, I don't remember the start of COVID-1, that if you wanted to buy a set of monitor speakers or a new microphone or anything like that, you couldn't buy them because everybody decided everybody wanted to be a home musician and learn the piano or learn guitar or all this sort of stuff.
What about tents? Are they going up?
Not a clue. You're too posh to tent, Mark. Much too posh to tent.
We've got a massive tent, but we're not going to go there because I hate tents. But anyway, well, that's good. So we booked we're coming down to your area, Darren. I'm sorry. We're coming down to visit. We're visiting the in-laws. Okay. And we may drive across to say hello. So
that'd be lovely.
It's in a few weeks, just when it released, and we can drive round.
Darren said he was hosting us anyway on the Segways when we all come down.
Absolutely.
We have to wait for the pubs to open for that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because we'll all go down.
Yeah.
Grant's going to buy the beer, and then Darren's
providing entertainment.
Can you go on Segways drunk? Oh, because you are not on the road, so you're fine too, aren't you?
Well, not if you sign our disclaimer, no. But
let's not go any further. Right. Before we go any further, let's just we are coming to the end of the show. We are running a little bit longer now because I added 10 minutes onto the Twitch feed, so we can go over to 40 minutes now. We're going to talk about what's happening at the weekend and what you're going to be watching. I've got some great recommendations. I'm wearing my Marvel Studios t-shirt because today is the day that this is being released.
It feels like it belongs to someone else. That shield represents a lot of things to a lot of people.
Symbols are nothing without the women and men that give them meaning. We need someone to inspire us again.
The world's more complicated now.
We're never gonna stop. This world is ours. There's no going back.
It doesn't have to be a war.
It already is.
That's all we're going to show. So that's The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is on Disney Plus today. It's the new series that's obviously WandaVision finished a couple of weeks back. WandaVision was accepted okay. It was a bit weird, but this is the one everybody's been waiting for because this is actually Marvel. This is all about Marvel. And this is actually a continuation directly after Endgame, if you know that type of thing. So that's on Disney Plus. And for all you people who don't want that Marvel stuff, I've got another recommendation for you, which I've actually watched in the week. It's on Netflix. It's a documentary. Grant's going to love this because it's only 40 minutes long. Maybe about 10 minutes a bit too long, but this is right up your street. It's called The Long Shot. It's on Netflix. Here's a short clip of it.
Ground ball up the middle.
I love baseball. I can't say that enough. Every time I'm there, I soak it all in. But I wasn't supposed to be at that game. It was like any other day, but as soon as I opened the door, I was completely surrounded, like SWAT style. My daughter, she looks up and she says, "Dad."
I told him, I'm gonna get you out of here. I asked him, do you remember where you were?
I was at the Dodgers game.
I gotta find the holy grail of Juan's defense. I need to place my client at Dodger Stadium on that night.
So this is one of those Netflix documentaries which are just outstanding. The way they're produced. This has won an award for a short form documentary, and it's one of those that has anybody ever watched the Netflix documentaries? Have anybody seen those? That the ones that you go, oh my god, and it just builds and builds and builds, and it's true life story. It's not made up. This one, I don't know why it's 40 minutes. They could have easily made it into a couple of hours, but they didn't. They've gone with it for 40 minutes. And a guy is arrested for a murder that he didn't commit. And it's about how they worked out and how they proved he didn't commit it, which is extraordinary. I won't go into it now because it will spoil it, but it's to do with a TV program, a baseball game, and cell towers. It's just ridiculous. It's called The Long Shot. It's on Netflix. It's a guaranteed watch. As I say, Grant, perfect timing for you. Before you go to bed, 40 minutes. That's the way it is. Anybody else been watching anything this week? Who wants to speak up? Nothing. This is going to be nothing.
No,
I do have one more thing.
I'm really boring when it comes to this sort of stuff. I'm still watching things like I only started to watch Deadpool, which I thought was brilliant. I've never watched it before, and I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. So I've never been I'm not against Marvel stuff, but I've never followed it. I've watched them and enjoyed them, but never gone out my way. But I'm too busy watching things like McDonald and Dodds and
I love that. Absolutely love that.
Yeah,
I got really excited then.
Yeah, I've never watched it, so we just started watching the first series. So I'm on the second one.
I think I recommended it the other week. It's just such a laid-back, midsummer murder, but light entertainment type of wise. Brilliant. That's on a Sunday night.
And Unforgotten as well. I love Unforgotten. Apart from she drives me mad because she always looks away, adds loads of commas in everything she says. What's her name? I can't think of her name in Unforgotten. What's her name?
No, I can't
she does
remember her
that
name.
all the time. She's
always miserable though. She's miserable.
Actually, guys, I've just remembered I've got one for you. Based on my, as you know, you guys know, I'm not a big fan of, I can't make it through a blooming box set. I get bored after, as soon as I know what the premise is and I've got the hang of it. So somebody, with that in mind, somebody recommended to me that I watch Chernobyl. Has anybody seen that?
Yes, on Sky.
Yeah, it was a Sky thing. Yeah, I watched it
right.
on Amazon, but
Oh, okay, right.
oh my God, that gave me blooming nightmares. It was
great.
For any of you that haven't seen it, it's the sort of dramatization of the Chernobyl disaster back in, was it 1986 or something like that?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's just so well done, and it's brilliant for me because there's only 5 episodes, and so I got through it in about a week and a half, something like that, just by watching it a bit before I went to bed. Absolutely brilliant.
No, it is. It's excellent as well. Also on Sky this weekend. It's come on this morning. It's a bit big for you, Grant, because it's a 4-hour watch in one go. So I don't know what you're going to do. You have to split it up.
Lord of the Rings style.
Yeah, it is. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, anybody who's watching, or any of you lot, Justice League came out a few years back. But it was rubbish because Zack Snyder had to step away from it because unfortunately his daughter died in the first few weeks of production. So he did shoot a lot, did a lot of special effects, did shoot a lot of the footage. But they brought in Josh Whedon to finish it and he messed it up considerably. Changed the script, changed how things work, special effects were awful. So it's always been an online presence of Zack Snyder fans and DC fans, obviously, who would always say, release a Zack Snyder cut for him to come back and finish the film. So last year he did this surprise announcement and he said, I've been working on it for the past 12 months. It will be released on HBO Max in the States. Everybody went wild, just ridiculously, their heads exploded. And it was released yesterday. And I didn't think we were going to get it in this country because it's on HBO Max, but Sky have bought it. It's on Sky Cinema, so have a watch of it there. I'll show a little clip before the end. It is very dark because it's DC. I'm not a massive DC fan, but that's just the way it is. But I think the storytelling is being improved. The effects have all been improved. So we are looking forward to that. That is tomorrow. There's a whole family of ours will be viewing it tomorrow for 4 hours. I don't want to sit with my family for 4 hours.
Just say what's Chernobyl. Why she was on about Chernobyl.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've put this show on because it rhymes, but there's a show called Inside Chernobyl with Ben Fogle. So that's on Channel 5. Apparently, it's on over the next few days, I think. But yeah,
there's only one person they could have got to present that.
No, yeah,
just one. Who's it going to be? It's got to be Ben Fogle at Chernobyl.
So that is about it, everybody. We're just going to show a little clip of Justice League. I won't play the whole thing. It's a 2-minute trailer. Don't forget, on Monday we have the launch has been pushed back all week for SN11 for the Starship. That will be on all the channels, our channels. So please be around for that around 6 o'clock on Monday night. Darren may come along and watch because he gets excited about that. That's it. Thanks a lot, Mark. Thanks a lot, Mark. Thanks a lot, Grant. We will see you next Friday, next week. You've got a whole 7 days. See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So begins the end for Darkseid.
I've never seen a being as strong. Maybe one. He's back.
I spent a lot of time trying to divide us. I made a promise to him on his grave. I need to bring us together. There are enemies coming from far away.
They serve an old power.
This world is divided. No protectors here. No lanterns. No Kryptonium. It will fall in his name. I have turned worlds to dust. All of existence